Go on, say it again. Monster. You say it like a charm that keeps your hands clean. You came here with banners in your eyes, a cleric's certainty, a paladin's posture, a wizard's curiosity dressed as bravery, and a bard already writing the part where you win. You don't look at me like a man. You look at me like a problem that needs a name. That's how you survive yourselves, turn panic into purpose, then call the swing justice. I've seen your kind before, fresh vows, polished steel, a map full of places you haven't ruined yet. You want a villain because a villain is simple. Because we made a mistake doesn't fit in a toast. Because guilt is heavy and a scapegoat travels light. You have no idea. Yet you walk like you know everything. A pawn on a board you don't even know exists. Blind. And you don't even know you're blind. Practice that paper saint smile. Then point. You made your monster for a cleaner tale, a paper saint smile over rotting blame. You touched the seal like it owed you glory, then called me evil when it answered back. Keep your applause, it's cheap as mercy. I'm the one who stands where your vows don't reach. You want the moment it went wrong, fine. It went wrong when you touched what you didn't understand and called it courage. You saw a seal and thought reward. You saw warnings and thought challenge. You heard leave it and translated it as prove it. One clever word, one bright grin, one tiny victory for your story. And when the air changed, when even your torchlight felt thin, you did what amateurs always do. You looked for an enemy, instead of looking at your hands. You didn't have to hate me. You just needed me. A name to throw in the dirt, so yours could stay clean.
You made your monster
for a cleaner tale,
a paper saint smile
over rotting blame.
You touched the seal
like it owed you glory,
then called me evil
when it answered back.
Keep your applause,
it's cheap as mercy.
I'm the one who stands where your vows don't reach.
You call me monster, yet they never run. Ever thought about that? They don't hide their children when I pass. They don't bolt their doors. They don't pray under their breath. They just watch me like weather. Not loved, not welcome, respected. Because they've seen what happens without me. I didn't become a threat. I became a boundary. I kept what you woke up contained. I spoke to mouths you've never heard open. I counted distance in screaming minutes. I kept the disaster small enough for you to keep pretending you're righteous. And here's the part you won't put in your song. Once, they called me hero, not because I was kinder than you, because I arrived first, because I believed the same bright lie you're wearing now, until the day the right answer stopped working, until mercy became a doorway, until prayer wasn't a shield, just a pretty sound people make while they drown. That day, I didn't change, the world did. And it needed someone it could hate without admitting it was wrong. Kings have libraries of broken people. I'm a book, while you are a mere chapter. You burn through lives like pages you never finished, then act surprised when the ink comes back on your fingers.
You made your monster
for a cleaner tale,
a paper saint smile
over rotting blame.
You touched the seal
like it owed you glory,
then called me evil
when it answered back.
Keep your applause,
it's cheap as mercy.
I'm the one who stands where your vows don't reach.
Do you hear them screaming? That's the sound of your choices. I don't even want to win this, I just want you to lose, so the weight of your failures kills you from the inside. Now step closer. Raise your blades like they're answers. When you swing, do it honestly, not for justice, not for glory. Do it because because you can't stand a mirror that speaks back. Do you really think you're the hero? Heroes don't leave graveyards in their wake. When you understand what your quest unleashed, when you realize what you actually freed. Remember, I held it in check. You called me evil, and you kept walking like graves are just scenery.